And it was very healing and fulfilling to know, you know what, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to be able to help other individuals that have a hard time setting boundaries with their family, have a hard time knowing who they are outside of their family, or if they feel like they have to be in this relationship because, well, I'm only getting older, or, well, is anyone ever going to want me? Like there's more to that. There isn't a perfect partner. And learning that it's in the becoming, it's not in the final product, and realizing that I'm never going to be perfect and I'm never going to be fully healed to be ready to be in a relationship.
Welcome to Awaken the Minds. I'm Monica.
And I'm Mikael. Together we're your guides on this journey of exploration and awakening.
Here on Awaken the Minds, we dive deep into the mysteries of life and beyond, from spirituality and reincarnation
to marriage, personal growth, and the secrets of the universe. And yes, we'll even talk about aliens.
Because let's face it, the truth is out there, and so is the love and wisdom we all need to evolve. So whether you're seeking answers or just curious about the unseen forces shaping our reality,
you found your tribe and the vibes.
So let's awaken the minds together.
Welcome back, beautiful souls, to another episode of Awaken the Minds, where we explore the heart, the mind, the seen and the unseen, the belief, and everything in between. Whether you're driving, sipping tea, grinding in nature, or just tuning in from stillness of your room, we're sending you guys waves of peace, love, joy, and abundance. And if your day hasn't quite felt that way, it's never too late to shift your frequency. Remember, we are magnets. What we align with, we attract. So take a deep breath, set an intention. Let's co-create a space of positivity and soul level awakening. Here on Awaken the Minds, we strive to be a light in the noise, to share wisdom, inspire reflection, and raise spiritual consciousness one soul at a time. To our returning tribe, thank you for the love, support, the likes, the follows, the shares. You are the reason we keep showing up, and together we're keeping the earth strong and the vibes high. And if you're new here, welcome to the family. I'm your host, Mikael, and as always with me, joined with my beautiful wife.
Hello.
Today we're diving deep in the art of healing, love, connection, and conscious relationships. Whether you're single or not, healing from heartbreak, navigating a long-term partnership, or just curious about the inner workings, this episode's for you. We are honored to be joined by a very special guest, a relationship intern therapist who has helped people uncover their patterns, heal their wounds, and build stronger, more authentic bonds with themselves and others. She is a native born and raised in Las Vegas. She is the oldest of three. She has been through a very tough obstacles in her life from a very young age. She faced major life transitions, moved states during those sensitive teenage years, and experienced emotional challenges that shaped her heart and her calling. Those early life lessons didn't break her, they built her. Today, she is a licensed marriage and family therapist intern, deeply passionate about healing relationships, restoring emotional balance, and helping others reconnect with their truth. Her mission is rooted in compassion, supporting individuals, couples, and families in a world that often feels disconnected and emotionally numb. So, whether you're navigating love, heartbreak, communication struggles, or simply want to understand yourself and your relationship on a deeper level, this conversation is for you. Let's get into it, ladies and gentlemen. Help us welcome Mimi Samayoa.
Yay!
Let's do that again. The public. Everyone.
Please,
Calm
guys.
down.
Mimi Samayoa.
Everybody. Oh my God. I cannot.
Ladies, how are you guys? Mimi, how are you doing?
So good. I love that intro. I was like, dang, who is that girl?
I know,
Talk about me.
She sounds so inspirational.
you're like, what a baddie.
No, really, really good. Excited to start my morning off with you guys for sure.
Well, thank you for joining us. I know you're not a morning person, so
I'm trying.
so we are very grateful that you became a morning person today.
Yes.
So that's always great.
Mm-hmm.
And you, how are you, my love?
I'm great. You know, just getting ready. We had a really busy day yesterday, so we were on nonstop, but I'm grateful for times like these and meeting new people, making new connections, and, you know, fulfilling our purpose little by little in front of cameras and kind of sharing this knowledge not only with us but with the world, you know. So we do appreciate that and we honor that. Your presence is honored, and yeah, but thank you.
Appreciate you guys.
Yeah, no problem. so we can kind of get into it. How is it growing up in the city?
I think it's been a whirlwind of emotions. I think the last time we talked, we said that there's this beauty with being able to be around so many cultures, so many languages, and you're not just like put in this box. So I think I've just grown with this city, and it's been awesome.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. And how do you feel when you growing up here, being a native, how do you feel, especially as a therapist, them calling this city Sin City?
I don't feel like it's well, again, because I feel like when people ask, "Oh my God, you're from Vegas," like they think we live like in casinos and we work in like we're like card dealers. I'm like, guys, there's more to Vegas. Like there's mountains, there's Summerlin, there's Centennial. Like, so no, I don't think this is a Sin City. I think if anything, this is like the city of lights. And just like what we're doing, I think with the way that we treat people, we are a light in this city. And I hope that throughout the years we can change that and not be known as Sin City, but be known for something else.
Yeah.
We can name it as Saved City.
Yes. Yes.
The Saints.
Let's get into your last name.
I know. Let's do that.
She's like, whoa, I'm learning about myself today.
Yeah. So we wanted to get into your last name because when we, obviously before we do our recordings, we always kind of like to break the ice, get to know each other a little bit. Mm-hmm. That way we're not awkward, meeting each other first time, start recording right away.
Yeah.
Kind of got to get that out of the way, But on our drive back home, we were like, is she maybe like Polynesian, Samoan or something? So we were kind of like, we were wondering where your last name came from.
You tell me,
so
brother.
We started digging deep into your last name, and it turns out that your last name is it's an indigenous language in like prehistoric, Mayan, Aztec times.
Okay.
So it dates back to that, which is called the Nahuatl. They call them the Nahuatl language. To this day, there's still like some Nahuatl people.
Okay.
Who kind of like live in the jungles and whatnot. Mm-hmm. But it was interesting to know that your last name comes from that far back.
Yeah.
To this point now. We're talking about like, I don't know, thousands of years ago.
I'm learning this for the first time today, so I appreciate that. Yeah.
And it's very cool to see that, understand a little bit more of like kind of like your origins. I don't know if you ever done like you say you haven't done the ancestry and all that, right?
No, but my siblings and I were very interested just because we don't know a lot of my dad's history. Mm-hmm. And my dad is very unfamiliar with his history. So just knowing what makes us, like maybe where do our roots start, I think is something that we're really interested in.
Definitely. Yeah. I think that obviously, like, not knowing a little bit part of yourself through your dad can really kind of affect you growing up. Mm-hmm. Because you feel like you kind of don't fit in. You don't really understand. There might be things that are really different from your family that you're just kind of like, I don't know. Like, and then your dad doesn't know either. So it's just kind of like you're in this middle where you kind of don't understand why you're feeling certain ways or are the way you are, so yeah, definitely.
I think for me too, knowing or being aware that I don't know a lot about my dad, it's giving me like a sense of sympathy for him and being like, dang, like he doesn't really know a lot about himself. So again, because I don't know a lot about his past doesn't mean that I can't appreciate what I have with him now and what I can create with him for our future. So that's something that I've been cherishing and being more intentional with in this season of my life too.
Right. Mm-hmm. Would you consider yourself the black sheep of the family?
Oh my gosh, I think I would.
Your sister's going to be like, I'm
black sheep in the sense of like, I'm the one that wants to have the uncomfortable conversations.
Right.
Where I'm like, hey, this is an unhealthy pattern in our family. We can't just keep brushing things under the rug. Or, hey, do you notice like you being passive aggressive? Like, just be honest.
Yeah.
And I think in our culture, it's very common for us to just do that, or it's very taboo for us to just be upfront with what our wants and our needs are because we get comfortable in our gender norms or in the societal norms of what it is to be a man and what it is to be a woman.
Yes.
And to know that that we're all equal, we all have needs, we all have wants, and we all deserve respect.
100%.
Yeah.
Because we all grew up kind of, me and myself, I'm the black sheep of the family. My wife as well, she's the black sheep of the family. So we can all kind of relate in the same sense of we're the ones who are like, that right there ain't right. You know, it's not normal. It maybe seem normal to you because I know our family kind of grew up a certain way, especially a lot of Hispanics grew up with a lot of trauma, a lot of PTSD.
Yes.
But I think they just accepted those things till it gets to the point where to them it becomes normal, right? And like anything, right? We all go through some things, and we just go through some things for so long that it becomes like second nature to us. It becomes normal, and once we start breaking those cycles, like it's a little different, especially like for us as Hispanics, right? Because not a lot of us really break those cycles, and we just continue procreating the same life, family after family,
for sure,
generations after generation, until somebody's like, yo, like,
yeah,
someone's got to cut the line right there, you know?
Yeah, I think too, it's like all of our past generations, they've been so used to suffering in silence.
100%.
And I think as the black sheep, bringing awareness to that and saying, hey, like, you don't have to suffer in silence. There's power in your words, and there's power in having those uncomfortable conversations. Because if we just keep pushing those to the side, what's going to end up happening is we're going to grow resentment towards one another. And that's the last thing that I want. Because I'm willing to have this uncomfortable conversation with you, just shows you how much I love you and how much I care about this relationship.
You, as being aware of all of this, how has it been difficult for you to bring these conversations up? Like, how has that made you feel before bringing the conversation up? How do you maneuver it? Because it's not an easy topic to kind of be like, hey, you're kind of fucking up here and you're kind of not doing this. And it kind of also I feel that in the Hispanic household, they kind of see you and they're kind of like, you think you're perfect. You think you know it all. And I feel that you get that a lot. But how do you even start the conversation when you want to address something, or you want somebody to be aware of something that is obviously closer to you than just a friend?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of grief in that. Why? Because there have been times where I've been just wanting to have those conversations, and I can give it in the most elegant way. And I think a saying that I tell a lot of my clients is, just because you're a great speaker doesn't make someone a better listener. Right. So, especially with my family, like, I will want to have those uncomfortable conversations, but sometimes they're just set in their own ways that I have to grieve the fact that they're not going to be the person that I want them to be. And because in Western culture, they're more like, oh, well, like, if they're not respecting you, just cut them off. But I'm like, with Hispanics, we don't do that.
No, we don't.
So I know. So what I talk a lot about with my clients is having the radical acceptance of, like, what is and what isn't. And, like, I know to what extent and what I can talk to with my family, with my siblings. And for example, with my little sister, we can have those uncomfortable conversations and letting her know, hey, like, yeah, that makes me feel weird when you say that. Or, hey, like, when we were having that conversation, like, I felt a sense of distance from you. Like, is that just me? And through that icky feeling, that's just vulnerability.
Yeah.
And that's what we all need. Not just in our families, but in all types of relationships.
For example, like, I really admire your guys' relationship.
Yeah.
I think it's beautiful.
My sister's here.
Yeah, your sister's here. She's like over there.
She's on the sidelines right now.
No, but I do admire that, because I feel like a lot in the Hispanic households, you don't share a relationship like that.
Yeah.
You are constantly, oh, my sister talks shit about me, I'm gonna go fight her, or I'm gonna talk to her for like weeks, And I grew up like that.
Okay.
I grew up in a sense where, like, I was always very outspoken. My sister cannot, like, she does not take it very well. And I do understand that when my mom got deported, I kind of became like a mom. And maybe there was things that I might have approached very negatively, like ways that she didn't want me to approach it, because once
you were a kid.
Yeah, I was a kid, and I don't think she understands that.
Okay.
How for women out there, or even like brothers, that that have older, smaller siblings, how do you kind of create this relationship with your siblings with the awareness that you have, and kind of like not making them feel guilty for decisions they make, because at the end of the day they're gonna do what they want to do,
for sure.
But how do you maneuver that? How do you advise somebody to get a little closer to their family, a little closer to their siblings at least?
Yeah. I think for one, reminding yourself you're not the parent. Like, they already have parents, even if they're not in their lives.
Yeah.
Like, my sister and my brother, they don't need a third parent. They need a sister that is going to tell them what they need to hear, not what they want to hear.
Right.
And I'm not going to just be like, well, you shouldn't do that because no is no. It's okay. I would say no because I've gone through this and this and this, but what do you think? Like, having that curious mindset with them where they can also know that I'm a safe place for them. Whereas with mom and dad, maybe it's like, oh, well, I can tell them things, but only to a certain extent. So with my siblings, it's more of, let's just talk about everything and anything, and know that we, for all three of us, like, we're a safe place for one another.
Oh yeah, it's very important to have those relationships, especially with your siblings.
Yeah.
Because in doing that, one, you kind of, like, as a black sheep of the family, we're breaking the cycle of so many generations who've done that, even with their own family. Like, oh, they didn't send me no money to wherever I'm at.
Yeah.
Or they stopped talking to me for like 2 days, so now I'm gonna cut you off for like a month or a year or whatever.
Yeah.
Or start throwing like shade in the family, whatever. Like,
yeah.
As Hispanics, we've seen it all.
Yeah.
In a lot of like our families.
And don't get me wrong, like, the relationship I have with my sister is completely different than what I have with my brother. I think in this season of my life, I'm acknowledging that where he's at in life, that's his journey.
Yeah.
And just because I see things differently doesn't make me better than him or him better than me. But I don't want to grow a heart of resentment towards him, a heart of hatred towards him, because it's only going to affect me at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So I just love him from a distance, if that's the nicest way to say. But again, I want the best for him, and to know that no matter what, I'm going to be here for him.
Which is, at the end of the day, at the end of the day, that's all we can really do, right?
Yeah.
Because we can throw some seeds in there.
Yep.
Maybe they'll flourish, or
hopefully one day.
Maybe it's just their water line's a little off right now, so they're not giving it any water. So eventually we end up, I guess, flourishing those seeds, if they will, if they at some point, give us some water.
Yeah.
But not only that, but at the same time, with you doing your work, especially noticing all those different, traumas and things in your family lineage, it helps not only heal yourself, but you start healing that lineage, taking it backwards, right? And then not only just healing it backwards, but then after if you decide to have kids or not, I don't know, but
hopefully
moving forward, moving forward in the future, it now breaks those ties of carrying all that guilt, that
baggage.
You kind of like, leave that over there. We're starting fresh.
When you started doing therapy, did you start therapy for yourself before you became an intern therapist, or decided to change your major, or was it something that you kind of called you later on in life, or did you always feel like a therapist? I feel as the older daughter, you kind of are the therapist of the family
without even knowing it, right?
So how did you know that this was what you wanted to do?
So long story short, growing up, I was like, I want to be a pediatrician. That's what I want to do since I was in kindergarten. Then I got into UNLV in undergrad, and I took one bio class, and I'm like, this isn't for me. I don't want to go to medical school. So I had this identity crisis where I was like, what the hell am I going to do with my life? Like, I don't know. And in my previous relationship, my ex-boyfriend was like, well, you seem to always talk about psychology. Like, why don't you just change your degree to psych?
Yeah.
I'm like, what the heck? No. Like, what are people going to say? This and this and this. I ended up changing my major. I hid it from my parents because I was so embarrassed to tell them about changing my degree. And something that was hard for me in the beginning was like hearing my dad say, you went from a doctor to a therapist. So that hurt.
Yeah.
And through that, and then through my previous relationship, I realized, you know what, like if I'm going to go into this degree, I have to get high on my supply.
Yeah, pretty much.
100%.
Yeah. So I went to therapy, first thinking, talking to my therapist about the dynamics I have in my family, but little did I know my relationship with my previous partner, my family, even my own sense of self, like it was all connected, and it was very healing and fulfilling to know, you know what, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to be able to help other individuals that have a hard time setting boundaries with their family, have a hard time knowing who they are outside of their family, or if they feel like they have to be in this relationship because, well, I'm only getting older, or, well, is anyone ever going to want me? Like there's more to that, because if those are the only reasons why you're staying in a relationship, you're in it for the wrong reasons.
Yeah, 100%. How, when you had changed your major and you mentioned that, you know, probably your family had a really hard time adjusting to that because they had this perception of you and how they wanted to view you, but it was never what makes my daughter happy, what is it that she desires, you know. I personally, I'm very grateful. I grew up in my dad was always very much like, do whatever makes you happy, you know, like I don't care, like just make sure you end up doing whatever makes you happy, like you don't, and then it doesn't condemn your soul, you know. But people that grew up very similar to your parents and you know go into obviously also education and really do hate their career at the end of the day, how was that battle with yourself, like as in emotionally, did it feel lonely? Did you feel like you were really stepping into a spot where you were like, damn, maybe this isn't for me, maybe like that self-doubt where you just didn't know what to do? How did you deal with that?
I love that question, because like hearing you say that, I'm acknowledging that I think that was the first decision I made for myself. So I was 19. And throughout my whole life, being the eldest, being the golden child, the example, like I did whatever mom and dad want, I'll do it. I want to make them happy. So I think making that decision, now saying that out loud, I'm like, man, I think that was the first time I said, you know what, this is what I want to do. And it's scary, because what is it like to do what you want to do, knowing that the people that you love to death don't agree with it? Right. So sitting with that discomfort was interesting.
Was it a grieving moment?
For sure. I think a grieving moment of, oh my God, this person that I thought I wasn't me. It was what my parents wanted. And there was this sense of, I wouldn't say like hatred or frustration. I think it was like, do you guys really like me? Or do you just like this version that I'm making for you? So,
No, most definitely. You know, I kind of came to that conclusion as well at a young age, where I was like, well, my entire life pretty much, because I was always like the one questioning my family. I was always the one like, bro, what you telling me, like, just don't make sense, you know? So I kind of always had this battle with my family, which is why I'm like the one who, you know, my siblings will be like, oh, just do what mom and dad say. And I'm like, but why?
Well, why?
Like, it makes no sense. Like to me, logically, it makes no sense. So like, it makes no sense why I'm gonna do that specific thing, but you guys are okay doing that. Where I was like, nah, it just doesn't make sense to me.
For sure.
So I've always been like the one who went against all my family and siblings. I've always been a person who's really outspoken too. So like if something, you know, really, I wouldn't say bothers me, I guess. Just something that just doesn't really make sense. I'll kind of like bring it to light, kind of start questioning everybody, kind of getting their minds to work as well, right? Because at the end of the day, I always, you know, tell this to my wife, I'm like, it doesn't really matter what I say at the end of the day, because I can tell somebody something, but at the end of the day, they have the choice to be like, do I follow that information?
Receive it or
do I
not?
Follow it? Yep. And I was like, at the end of the day, they're just going to do what they're going to do. You know, like, my 2 cents don't match their 5 cents. I always say that. That's like my go-to. And it's like, you know, if she got 5 cents, I got 2 cents. You know, it is what it is.
I love that.
Definitely. Have you ever gone into your numerology?
No.
You have not?
No.
Do you want to give her a little insight?
Yeah. So I did do your numerology.
Okay.
it turns out you're a life path 3.
Okay.
So what that means is typically how you come up with that is you would sum up your whole birthday, right? So you were born, tell me it was like 97 or 98?
97, yeah.
Okay, so you're 97. Do you mind us, sharing your...
Oh, I don't mind.
Okay, I
Yeah.
just wanted to make sure before we get into it.
As long as you don't share my social security, I think we're
All right,
good.
Let me erase that real quick. But, pretty much how you come up with that number is you would sum up all your birthday, your month, and the day you were born, and you add everything up and then get it down to a single digit.
Mm-hmm.
So after you add everything up, let's say, for instance, if I added up all of your numbers in your birthday and it comes up to 39, right? So when you get 39, you add 9 plus 3, which is then equals 12. After that, you round that up to a single digit. So you do 2 plus 1, which is 3. So that's how I come up with your life path number. They say for a life path 3, you're more of the creative artist person. You're an outgoing, friendly, charismatic, sociable, humorous, entertaining, joyful, and optimistic. You can be inspiring and motivating, versatile and adaptable, curious and open-minded, expressive and communicative. Which, I mean, the first 30 minutes we just recorded, I think is pretty obvious. But hearing those things, those skills and talents, can you relate with those?
Oh, for sure. I think from the moments that we've gotten to know each other, you guys could see those little attributes about me.
Yeah, or maybe it's just because you're Mexican.
That could be too. Very true.
We never stop.
Yeah.
Right.
We're always yapping.
Yep.
And then some challenges, I guess, that come along with the life path 3. Now, when we say like this is like your life path, doesn't necessarily mean these things are going to happen, right? Or
It doesn't dictate
these
your
are
whole
you.
life.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's also more things to it, but
I think the best way to view the challenges for my life path number is viewing it as things that can possibly turn out if you go the wrong way.
right.
Okay. So instead of going the right way, you go the left way. Okay. So this is just kind of putting you like, hey, if you don't stay grounded, could possibly, you can fall into this category, or et cetera, et cetera. And you're not an aware person.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's more of like if you're not consciously aware.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so typically we all kind of go through these challenges when we're unaware. And these challenges happen because life, God, the universe is trying to make us understand who we truly are to ourselves. Right?
Yeah.
And some of the challenges that appear on your chart as a life path 3 would be the tendency to overthink and worry about what others think, right? Which you explained earlier, like how before you transition from, was it pediatrician you said?
Yeah.
To a therapist, and you were like, what's my family gonna think?
Yeah. Yeah.
So you kind of already went through that challenge, which you overcame. And some of the other ones would be like struggle with commitment or following through on projects, stuff like that. I don't know if you had any of those, but like I said, not saying this is your life.
Yeah. No, I get it.
That will come up. You could probably be impulsive, make decisions like on a quick without really sometimes thinking about them. Let's see. You could also find maybe difficulty finding balance between work and play.
That one checks out.
Like today.
Yeah.
And then another one could be a difficulty with routine or like mundane tasks that you do daily. Tendencies to be easily distracted or lose focus. You maybe have like a little squirrel moment where you're like...
I blame it on the being Mexican too on that one.
I feel like every Mexican has ADHD.
I feel like we're just overstimulated all the time.
That too. We are.
Yeah.
It just has passed down throughout a lot of generations.
Honestly, though, I wouldn't change that about us. I love how overstimulated we are.
Yeah, I thrive in an overstimulated environment.
We could have like 10 conversations in 5 minutes.
Exactly. Look, we just did.
Yeah.
Not only that, but also growing up in a Hispanic household, there's just always noise. There's like, I don't think there's ever any silence.
¿Cómo se dice? What's the thing called? The vacuum. ¿Cómo se dice? ¿Cómo se dice en español? I don't know.
Espérate.
La aspiradora. La aspiradora. Si no es la música, si no están limpiando los trastes.
Exactly.
Put the subtitles right there.
Yeah. So those are just some of the things I guess life will, or you may face in life, and kind of the challenges that will help you become more true to yourself, right?
Thank you. I love that.
There are some other things too, and it says here that you may be drawn to your natural creativity, whether it's through art, music, writing, other forms of self-expression. You know, make a positive impact on the world, which we believe that's what you're doing now with the internship and therapist.
Thank you.
You're making a positive statement and helping a lot of people, right? Because we always say at the end of the day, if we can help one person, that takes us a long way, right?
Yeah.
It's almost like how can I say this? Almost like a good deed, right? Like if we help somebody, what we say blessing will come back to us tenfold.
You reap what you sow.
I would like to go a little bit more into your upbringing. Last time when we met up for coffee, you had said, what age did your dad get deported?
I was 11.
You were 11. So that was almost 6 years. Okay. So from...
It's funny too, not to cut you off, but it was on an 11, which 11 is a strong energy too.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's a whole different rollo. Yeah.
See?
Yeah. I'm like, my brain just went like, no. So, for example, they say that when we're 7, our dynamic in the download to how we see the world downloads at 7 years old.
Okay.
So a lot how we live at 7. From 7 and up, it's kind of how we view our relationships, view our friendships, view our parents, view our siblings, and etc. How let's say from 7 down or 7 up, did that impact your current life from relationships, friendships? What is it that you have been needing to overcome or are still currently working on?
Jeez, that's a big question.
Okay, we're going to be here another 30 minutes.
I know. I think for sure something that was odd for me growing, in my teenage years, as a kid, I don't remember my parents fighting. I don't have one memory of my parents fighting. Not one.
That's insane.
Is it because you kind of avoided?
I don't know if I'm blocking it out. What I do remember though, growing up, I remember there was always people in the house. I was raised in the church, so my parents were like in charge of like worship, young adults, couples, so we always had like people in the house, and my parents have always been in a very leadership role, which I really appreciated. I was always raised with a lot of people because I didn't have family here in Vegas, so that was very nice to have. But going a little bit deeper into your question, what are things that I feel like I'm still struggling with? I think now I'm learning that there isn't a perfect partner. And learning that it's in the becoming, it's not in the final product, and realizing that I'm never going to be perfect and I'm never going to be fully healed to be ready to be in a relationship. So that's been something that I think I've been tackling these past few years, and I've been loving this season because again, it's another form of grieving that I'm going through where it's like, wow, like I thought I was this, but I really need this type of mentality to even attract the type of people that I need in my life.
You know how you said that there's no perfect partner and it's in the becoming. So right now, our friends are single, so a lot of them are obviously in the dating pool, and it's not the best. But
woohoo, go singles!
And she's single, guys.
If you need a therapist,
she got you.
If you want me as your therapist, I can't date you though.
Oh yeah, never mind. Don't be
book a session with a different therapist. Get some healing done.
Oh god.
No. So with that becoming, I struggle only because I feel this is a value that I come with. And I struggle. I was in a very toxic relationship before I married my husband. And I feel that I fell in love with the potential.
Okay.
And I feel like we struggle as maybe Hispanics or everybody's struggling with this of how these men are saying, oh yeah, but I'm going to do this. And then they become men of not their word. And I can't put up with that. I don't think
Facts.
that's part of my values. But how do you know someone is becoming what they are saying they're becoming? How do you point out that that's a green flag? And how do you see that they're not bullshitting you in other senses, you know?
What I tell a lot of my clients and even my friends is date like you're deaf. So
What?
yeah. So date like listen to their actions, not their words. So anyone can tell me anything. Like they're wanting to be this cool guy, but what are your actions telling me? So I think, and another advice I'd say would be like when you are dating, think of yourself as a company and you're trying to choose who is going to be the CEO taking over your company, in the sense of you're trusting him with everything that you are, or her with everything that you are. So again, just seeing people's actions and not their words, because anyone can say anything, but what are your actions telling me?
Right.
And almost definitely, this is kind of one of the things that we've learned throughout when we first met and moving forward, right? I always said anybody's going to want to tell you whatever they want to hear.
Yeah.
I was like, but the actions are going to speak louder than the words, because at the end of the day, some people could be like manipulative, right? They just want to they just want to tell you what you want to hear, kind of like, you know, blow smoke up your ass. What I always say.
Yeah.
They're going to be blowing smoke up your ass just to get what maybe they want. So I always say, like, see beyond the words, you know, like test them or whatever the case. You know?
See beyond, like, or not beyond. See them when they're mad, when they don't have money, when they're losing someone. I think throughout all those trials, you truly see the person to their core.
Yeah.
And do you like that person even when they are going through all that? Are they someone that is willing to bring you in? Like I always say, like, bring you into their mud, and can you sit in that mud with them? Or are they someone that's going to want to just push you away because they feel like they can't have you in that? And that doesn't create a healthy relationship.
Yeah.
How has the dating pool been for you? What have you learned?
Yeah. What have I learned? I've learned that I think, for one, put yourself out there. I had this belief where I'm like, the guy has to come to me, like he has to ask me out, or the whole saying, I don't chase, I attract, which again I think is complete BS. Why? Because people can't read your mind.
Yeah.
So
Facts.
if you like someone, ask them out. You don't lose anything.
Yeah.
By, like, the worst that can happen is they say no, and you know for sure that that's not your person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, too, like, if after one date you're just not feeling it, don't waste their time and your time.
Yeah.
That most definitely.
And another thing I want to add is dating only makes it more clear to you what you want and what for sure you don't want.
100%.
So dating is very important.
Yeah, which is funny that you say that, because when I obviously was single, I was single for almost 3 years before I had met my husband, and I was constantly, like, you know, obviously dating, and I was just like, oh my gosh, it was constantly also seeing a lot of patterns that my family carried.
Yeah.
And things that I was like, I do not want this. But I feel like the more clarity you get of the things that you do not want, the more you attract your person.
Yeah.
You know, like the more the more you actually end up attracting the person that you're like, okay, this is the type of life. Because I feel like we kind of bullshit ourselves when we're not dating.
Yeah.
We're kind of like, well, I don't want that. But how do you know you don't want that when you haven't really experienced it? You're putting your perception in an expectation that you didn't live.
It's an illusion.
Yeah.
You being single now for some time, what boundaries and things like that have you noticed that you're willing to, I guess, not compromise, but what are the things that you're looking for as far as like your next relationship, right? For us, before we even started dating, we kind of like set our boundaries, set an intention.
Yeah.
I knew what I was looking for. She knew what she was looking for.
Yeah.
And now that you've, I guess, gained that experience in your journey moving forward, have you done that for yourself as far as like getting an idea of the type of person that's right for you, right? Because once we start understanding ourselves, we kind of understand what is it that we want, what is it we don't want. What are some things that we can kind of like, I guess, work with?
Yeah.
Right. And for you, have you done any of that work, and how has that work been for you?
Well, I think now starting my private practice, I realized that there was some stuff that I wasn't confronting. So I did go back to therapy, and I was like, oh, like we're just gonna chit chat, like another therapist, cool. And I was like, oh dang, like I don't know what like a type of relationship I want. I have this illusion, but like what am I doing to get that relationship?
What are the boundaries that you set for yourself?
I think when you say boundaries, what I've been learning too, like the purpose and the definition of a boundary, like the other person doesn't have to do anything. It's your full responsibility for you respecting that boundary. So what are you going to do if this boundary isn't respected? So I think being very intentional with myself of respecting myself by keeping those boundaries, whether that be I'm not going to tolerate someone continuously disrespecting me with name calling or lying to me or passive aggressiveness. Like I've dealt with that a lot. So that's something that is like a non-negotiable for me. I think with where I'm at in life too, like I want someone to understand my crazy schedule.
Yes.
Yeah. And
I'm a hardworking queen.
And the more I've been doing this work, I've realized that there is this emotional baggage that comes with it. So having someone that I can go to and it can just be like my safe place and can re-energize me and know that there are going to be days where like I'm seeing 8-9 clients and I just want to go home, and sometimes I just want to cry because of everything that I'm hearing. And I'm not always going to be on. But I think also too, what I've been learning in therapy is like it's very important that I have to be intentional of having a really good self-care routine, whether that's moving my body, finding friends that are energizing me, reading, picking up a hobby. Like I'm being very intentional about that, but also having a partner that just wants to grow. I think that's very attractive. Someone that intentionally always wants to grow, always wants to have a vision for their life, but also us as a partnership. Yeah. I think those are the things that come up.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, I like that because, you know, us, when we got together, I always say there's 3 journeys in a relationship, right? Mm-hmm. There's your journey, there's my journey, and then there's a journey of us together.
Yeah.
And it's about finding the balance with all 3.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, I always see it as we shouldn't be living for the other person.
Yeah, correct.
We lose the sense of who we are.
Mm-hmm.
And then
you become codependent.
Yeah.
And
then so I always say like we always kind of like we got to find our balance. I was like, I know
correct.
you've got things you got going on your journey that maybe I may or may not be able to help you with. Same thing with my journey.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say at the end of the day, what makes a relationship work is meeting in the middle.
Yeah.
Meeting in the middle, because that's our journey together.
Mm-hmm.
Where can we help each other? Where can we move forward together? What are the things that we need to work on, right? Stuff like that. So I always, in every relationship, I would say there's 3 journeys.
Mm-hmm.
And I think for us, especially I guess as men and women, I mean, you guys are more intuitive into that, but as a man, I think it's a lot more harder for men to understand that. Mm-hmm. Because, you know, we grow up with, oh, you're the man of the house. What you say goes, you know.
Yeah.
You say this is all good.
But even that, like, what does that mean to be like the man of the house? Like, really, like, explore that with your partner.
So true.
Because, okay, to be the man of the house, does that mean you just provide for me physiologically, like bring in the bread? Like, okay, like I need more than that.
Yeah.
Facts.
Like I need emotional investment to depth. Yeah. Like that's very important to me. I don't know for anyone else.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, I think that that's something that I grew up with brothers. Like, obviously, I'm the middle child.
Yeah.
But I grew up with brothers, and I feel like my brothers were a great example of things that I didn't want in a man. They were a great example to that. I was just kind of like, definitely never want that, you know? Because honestly, I, at the end, was attracting very much of who my dad was when he was young.
Yeah.
And my dad is amazing. I love him. I will die for that man, but he wasn't the best father, and he wasn't the best husband to his other kids. To me, he was the greatest father, you know, because I feel like he could do no wrong in my eyes. But but I knew that there was things that I was like, no, like that's not okay. You grew up seeing it so much that you kind of were like, it doesn't make me feel good. It's not healthy, you know. And when they would say, oh, like you got to be the man in the house, and I was like, so what? Like just go buy food and then I raise your kids and then we kind of just call it a day, like that's kind of crazy to me, you know. And so when we had first started dating, we were kind of like, I had told him, I was like, I don't know what you want, but I don't like, I don't know why we're like out here like having breakfast or whatever, because I don't know your intentions. So we kind of like sat there and then he was just like, oh, like he kind of like was like, oh, what the fuck, like, you know, because I was already tired of dating. I was just kind of like, I'm over it. My mom got deported. I'm taking care of a little girl. I don't have time for this. Like, I don't have time for a relationship or to take care of anybody else. So I had told him that I was like, I don't want to be taking care of you. I don't want to be telling you what you need to do. I just kind of need you to take initiative on a lot of things, you know. I need you to take initiative. I'll take initiative sometimes too, but it's just, I don't need to be holding your hand.
And I think with you saying that, I wonder, like, you got so tired of having to be the leader that even like trusting someone to like you let go and have them have that leadership role was very important to you.
Super important, because I don't think I could live in my feminine energy or in who I am as a woman and flourish really who I am today if I didn't let go of that part, because I no longer wanted to lead. I no longer wanted to carry somebody with a hand. I no longer wanted to carry anybody on my shoulders. I was just kind of tired of it. I was like, this is not what I want for myself, and if you can't provide that, then you gotta go. Like it was the first date too. Like I was just like, I don't
knew what you wanted.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck you want? You want a little quickie or what?
Oh my god.
He was like ooh.
Oh, like, espérame, hold on.
I know.
Let me get my French toast first.
I know.
Yeah, I was straightforward. I was like, I don't have time for this shit. So let me know what you want, because I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. Like, maybe we'll work it out as we go, or we'll go with the flow. And I was just like, honestly, I don't have time for that. Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, no, most definitely when we first met, she was like very much in her masculine energy. But again, like it comes to how we were saying earlier, where it's about, you know, seeing what they say and what their actions are. And for me, I was like, she was living in her masculine energy. She was like, you know, big balls over here. I was like, I think you need to step into your feminine.
Cálmate, le dijiste. Ya, güey.
I was like, take your white beater off, you know.
Like, first of all, that's what got me here. Okay, I didn't have time, and I feel, and I don't have a problem with men. I think men can make a woman become so beautiful inside and out when they do their job. Yeah. And I think my biggest problem with men is that when they do not let the woman flourish. And I think that comes from me growing up, seeing my mom not being able to be in her feminine because she had to take care of everyone as well. It kind of triggered that sense in me where I was just kind of like, I just want to be a woman. Yeah.
Live in peace, pretty much.
Yeah. Like, you know,
what does it mean for you, like, to be a woman?
To be a woman is be able to cater to him, being able to like I love having the house clean when he comes from work, because I feel like he doesn't have extra things that he needs to do. Like, you know, he can kind of focus on his stuff. Kind of being able to be creative, let my mind run wild, be able to just be like, hey, today I don't feel like doing nothing. I'm just gonna chill. I'm just gonna, like, you know, work on some stuff, draw, like read. And to me, that's something that allows me to be a woman. That allows me, not only that, but I love to also like cook, and I love to, like, I just love to cater. I'm a person that needs to be needed, but in a different sense, not in the sense of like you need me to hold your hand and like walk with you every step of the way, but just kind of let me live in my feminine, where I'm more than glad to cook for you. I'm more than glad to cater to you. I'm more than glad to have the house clean, but don't force me to do things that I don't want to do.
It's more of like, it's not that you have to, it's that you get to.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
I love this one thing. I think it was a pastor that said this to me, where he said the beautiful thing about companionship is like, a man can give you a house, but a woman makes it a home. A man can give you groceries, but a woman makes it a meal. Like there's this dynamic that only happens when two people give both of their parts together, and it's not just one person overdoing it all the time. Yeah,
no, most definitely. I always believe that's kind of the things that we've kind of set of our boundaries on and intentions on is that we need to find that balance between the both. I always told her, I was like, I'm nobody to control you. I'm never going to control you. I'm never going to tell you what to do. I was like, I understand you have your life. I need you to understand I got my life. And there's, I can barely control my life. You know what?
Yeah.
What am I going to do controlling your life?
I mean, the more you try to control someone, the more resistance that happens. So
100%. Yeah.
So I've always seen it like that, where it's like, I was like, if you need my help, I'm there to help.
Yeah.
But I'm never going to tell you what to do. I'm never going to tell you how to do things. You ask me for help, I'm there as a helping hand. At the end of the day, I know you got your journey, I got my journey. And
you trust her is what it sounds like.
yeah, at the end of the day, it's just like,
that's beautiful.
do your thing. Like,
Yeah.
I don't need to do, like how she says, you know, we don't need to be holding each other's hands. I'm
Yeah.
like, you know what you're doing. You're conscious enough to know the things you got going on every day. You're conscious of your actions. We both understand action has reaction, right? That's
Yeah.
the opposite of action. So at the end of the day, it's like we in a partnership, we are aware of that, but even for those who are single, like you got to start realizing those things as well. That not only just building trust, but building trust comes with action.
Yes. You said something too that I think is very beautiful, where you said like I know that I don't have to hold her hand, but I wonder, like, if she did need you to hold her hand, I know you'd be there for her.
Yeah.
Yeah. 100%.
And I think that's what makes your guys' relationship so beautiful.
Thank you. I'm gonna cry. No, definitely. No, I think that's also something that we kind of implemented in the beginning was just the full trust building it in that foundation.
Yeah.
Because we did have like our hard times, and I feel honestly like we argue maybe like once every 6 months. Like, and it's always just kind of like those little triggers where we're like, ew, that was really ugly. And we have that ability to call each other out. Where it's not like, don't tell me that, like, you don't know me, like, it becomes an argument. And it's more like, we're very spiritual, so we have come to the sense of where we can kind of like trigger each other where it comes from the womb, like the wound, like the main root, like, and that could be really bad sometimes, because we're like, that really fucking triggered me, like, I am upset, like, I do not want to talk to you, like, I need to sit with myself and I need to see where I went wrong or what I said, because if I'm going to talk to you, I'm going to definitely talk to you out of my ass. Like, I'm not going to tell you honesty. But we have been able to get into that ability where we can call each other out, and it's not like, I'm leaving tomorrow, like, that's it, like, I'm done with you, like, don't hurt my feelings like that. And it's not even hurting your feelings, it's more like you're hurt from something deeper than what you don't even know, that you don't realize, right? So it's like little things that we've done that we kind of like, we're like, okay, we can make, we never grew up with we never saw our parents being in a relationship like this.
Yeah.
So I feel like what we're doing is more of what we never saw growing up and how we want to implement it if we ever decide to have kids, And
I think too, it's knowing, like, arguing in relationships is not bad.
Yeah.
I always get worried when couples come to me and they're like, oh, we don't argue. I'm like, so you're not talking? You're not hanging out?
That's weird.
Yeah. And I also tell them, like, it's not the not arguing that's important. It's how do you repair after an argument? Yeah. How do you guys come together and say it's us against the problem, not us against each other? Because if I win this argument, we lose as a couple. Yeah. So having that mentality of, okay, what is it that we're fighting against, and that's creating this disconnection, and let's talk about it.
Yeah.
There's nothing scary about talking about
100%.
Yeah, most definitely. Like for us, it's not that we don't argue. We talk all the damn time.
Yeah.
So there's nothing to argue about. So it's like, we literally be like at 3 a.m. at night trying to go to sleep, and then she'd be like, hey, babe.
Not only that, but it's like, like if he does something throughout the day, I don't go to sleep with it.
Yeah.
I don't. Like, I just kind of like, if he says something like in front of his family that I really did not like, or made us feel like we're against each other. Yeah. I'm just kind of like, I really did not like when you said that.
Yeah. You should advocate for yourself.
Yeah. And I feel like he holds that space for me though.
Good.
Because I feel like a lot of men don't, like, why are you bringing it up now? Like, fuck, like this and that. Like, they start like telling you, don't bring it up now. Like,
or they put their family before you. And I'm like, no.
Motherfucker. I was going to say,
I'm your family first now.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I'm giving you the Gaga 3000. Like,
if you didn't know, we're all pretty open.
I love that.
It's the truth, you know, like I, as a woman, like I always say, you should value your space, and that also is very important. You know, it's very, 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 very important. Where I don't have a problem with gender or anything like that. I just feel like we as people should stand in our values.
Yeah.
You know, where there's that value where if I see you dating somebody and I see him letting you flourish and like treating you well, like to me that's a fucking man. You know, that's a man, because he's allowing her to like not dim her light. He's like giving more light to her. He's giving her that praise that he needs, because I feel that when you have a good woman in your life, everything multiplies.
Yeah, she becomes your backbone.
She really does. And you know, a lot of men in our society are growing up thinking that they don't have anybody, because it's like no tienes que llorar, no tienes que ser así. Like,
it's a very individualistic mindset.
Yes, and I feel like that's something that he had to overcome in his life, where I was like, you're not alone anymore. You do know that, right? Like, you have me, and you thinking that you're alone is kind of shitty, because you're not.
I'm choosing you.
Yeah, I'm choosing you. Like, we're choosing each other. But then you're saying you're alone, but then estoy que pintada. Like, fuck. Me llamo plátano, pélame. Like, you know, like, fuck. Like, you know, seriously. You know? And it's those things where I feel like our relationship has worked because of that, because of the honesty, because being straightforward, because we don't take our individuality. We don't feel like we need to compete with another person because, oh, she's pretty, she has a degree or anything like that. I feel like we're just like so secure in our relationship that we're kind of like, yeah, she's gorgeous, no se le va a quitar lo bonito. Like, you know, like, yeah, she's fucking pretty, like, you know. And we have these conversations like, yeah, she's pretty. Like, when we had met with you, he was like, oh, she's so cool, like, she's so pretty. And I was just like, yeah, she is, like, you know, like, there's just not that insecurity there. But it has been a way of working through it as we have been together.
I think something that came up too when you were talking is when you do find a woman and like she flourishes, I feel like what I find a lot is women getting in relationships and they feel like they have to become small to make him feel big. And I think that's a huge red flag because a man that is a man is never going to get intimidated by your greatness.
100%.
He's just going to want to make you flourish because he's secure in his own masculinity. So I think we talked about this the first time we met, where there's this big like red pill movement of these men wanting to go back to the 1950s and and very unhealthy mindset, and we could have spent another 3 hours talking about that.
No, I mean, but how do you, like, for the public, what red flags and what are green flags, not only for the public, for yourself, that you've seen with your patients and with yourself in general, where you're just helping them maneuver that and helping yourself maneuver into like the dating pool and being able to like right away catch on to those, like the red flags and the green flags?
For your individual self, I would say be more interested in, do I like this person, instead of do they like me? Because I feel like a lot of us go into dating being like, oh, well, I have to say the right thing, I have to look a certain way so they can like me. But it's like, no, like you're dating them too, so like, do you like them? Do you think that your values align? Do you think they're interesting? Do you feel like they like the conversation is flowing? That's one. I think another one is like, are they very intentional with like wanting to spend time with you? Are they intentional of being very direct of like, hey, I'm not a texter, like, so you don't have to read in between the lines. As for red flags, I mean,
she's like infinito.
Oh my gosh, I know, right?
Let me roll it out.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, I would say like when you go into dating, don't go with this like expectation of like, I have to see what green flag, yellow flag. Like, no, just be present. Honestly, be present, and after you leave the date, like check in with yourself and say like, how did I feel in this date? Did I like this person? Did I feel like I was being my most authentic self? And being realistic too with, this is just one date. this is not gonna be, because I feel like as people were like, oh my god, like this is gonna be the person I'm gonna marry, we're gonna have this many kids, we're gonna do this, and I'm like, girl or dude, slow down.
Slow down.
Take it day by day. Like they don't owe you anything, you don't owe them anything, like, because then that's where the whole like disappointment comes, and it feels like harder because you just like made a whole story after one talk.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, you have to get more comfortable with the slow burn.
Yeah.
I agree.
I really like how you explain that, because a lot of the, I guess like my generation, right? We're not that far apart.
Our generation. I mean, I appreciate you thinking I'm young.
Our generation.
Yeah.
A lot of our generation grew up with that, with the mindset of how we were talking about earlier, where it's like, you know, the man needs to do this. And how you said the woman needs to like dim herself to please the man, which comes back to like people pleasing, right? Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know, just me as in general, I never liked that. Like, I don't like someone being like on my ass all the time. Like girl, like relax, be you.
Yeah.
Relax. You're stressing yourself for nothing. You stressing me out.
Well, it's like you don't trust the person, but also too, I always say people pleasing, like that's a form of manipulation.
100%.
Like you're just manipulating someone to like you, and you're just selling them a fake product. And then what's going to end up happening? You're going to become resentful, because then when you show your true authentic self, they're going to be like, who the hell is this?
Yeah.
So it's like, no, be yourself. And if they like it, cool. And if they don't, thank God. Tell me that you don't like me, so I'm not wasting my time either.
100%.
And one of the things you said too, where you know how you meet somebody for the first time and like they kind of already start foreseeing what
the whole thing.
Like how you said, it's about slowing down, getting to know somebody, getting to know the true intentions, getting to know who they really are. I always say getting to know somebody takes time.
Yes.
Right? Like, I don't know how it was for you guys, for you growing up, but in my journey of life, I've seen everybody like get together and they're like, oh, you know, I know this girl or this dude. We've been dating 3 days. Like, they're my life. I'm like, but how do you know that?
How?
I was like, I understand a feeling, but like you haven't seen like everything of them. You haven't got to know them. Like I always say, getting to know somebody takes time.
Yes.
Because it takes time. Like you have to go through certain things, certain scenarios in life to kind of really get to know who they are, how they react. Yeah. That's really where the challenge is, right?
Yeah.
Like, can you deal with that? Can you not deal with that?
Yeah.
Are you willing to put up with that? Can you guys communicate? Like we always talk about 5 love languages, right? Yeah. The 5 love languages are the communication, what was it?
Time,
words of affirmation,
touch, gifts.
So we're always big on that, because we need to understand, one, we need to understand how we like to be loved. 2, we understand how they like to be loved. And then there's the thing of, can you work with that? Can you not work with that? So we're always really big on those things, especially, but how we say, you know, like not really a lot of people think that way, or they find it more of a drag, right? Like, oh, that's doing too much. Like, I don't want to do that. So it always comes down to really like how I said earlier when I told you, like, what are like, if you made like a list of the type of potential future relationship you want, right? Because you got to understand, we need to understand ourselves. What is it that we want? Yeah. And what are the things that we're willing to put up with? Because at the end of the day, you also, how you said, like, you also don't want to dim your light just to please somebody. And then at the end of the day,
you become resentful. Yeah. I think some people too in relationships, they love so much that they want to speed the process, and then that ends up like beating them up in the end. Like I think there's nothing more beautiful than taking your time, really seeing, is this the person? Like if you believe in like getting married or having a a long-term relationship, like is this someone that I want to spend the rest of my life with? And am I expecting myself realistically to know that in 3 dates? Yeah. No. So like taking your time to like, again, check in with yourself and ask yourself, how did I feel after every date? How did I feel after every conversation? If they're not texting you like, hey, it's only been a few days, like calming yourself and not expecting them to fix you because
since you yourself are a therapist, intern therapist, so we get the context right. So you're not getting a...
Thank you, Nevada, state of Nevada. I love my intern license for now.
How has therapy helped you, and how has it changed you as a person?
Ooh, that's a very big question. I I think something that I'm learning is a lot of us come into this career being a wounded healer. So because we've been hurt so much, we want to come into this career wanting to heal everyone.
Right.
And it's learning that it's not going to be at your pace. And some people aren't ready to kind of heal those parts of themselves. So I think I've been learning a lot of taking things slow, meeting people where they're at, and also learning that it's not about me in therapy. That most of the time it's just meeting people where they're at in their journey, and it's always uncomfortable. But I think in the uncomfortability, I'm learning too so much about my vulnerability, whether that be like, in the time that I've been a therapist, I think I've cried with a client like maybe once or twice. And it's been so powerful because they see the human in me. Yeah. Like, it's not that there's therapy Mimi and Mimi, like I'm Mimi in session. Yeah. And I think that's what's made me be the therapist I am today, because I just show people my authentic self.
Yeah, and almost definitely, because I truly believe, especially like in the line of work that you do, you have to be compassionate with especially with someone being vulnerable with you, right? Mm-hmm. Like we see movies, right? And therapist is like,
yeah, I ain't like that.
No emotion, just taking notes while you're crying.
While they're crying, yeah, no.
It's like, okay, tears fell, 5 of them.
No.
No, that's I believe that's really good too, because it helps the person that you're helping feel seen, right? Because at the end of the day, maybe that's something that a lot of us go through, where we bottle so much because we don't feel heard, we don't feel seen.
Yeah.
And being there with somebody, especially when they're in their most vulnerable state, it's about, okay, I see you, I hear you, and I'm also here for you.
Yeah. I think the hardest thing too, because a lot of people get this wrong, where like, again, I'm human. So like someone will tell me what they're going through, and I want to be like, girl, leave him. Leave him. He's cheating on you again. Run. But then my therapeutic response is, so like, tell me the pros and cons of staying with him. So I think in therapy too, like I've been learning that part of like, some people don't need you to tell them all the answers. They have all the answers inside of them, but you're just helping them. Like, they're allowing you to go inside their psyche, and they have all these doors, and they're allowing you to open those doors and, hey, can we go in this door? Can we talk about what's in here? And some of them are like, nope, I don't. Okay, fine. We're going to go through that door another day.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I want you to know, whenever you're ready, I'm here to go through that door with you.
Yeah. When you started doing, obviously, therapy with your clients, how is it that you unwind from hearing them out? Because that's also very emotional.
Yeah.
And you're also dealing with your stuff, and I feel like sometimes people only see you as a therapist and they think you got it all figured out, right? And they're like, well, you got it figured out because you have all this knowledge, but you're kind of like, well, you see.
But I'm only human.
Exactly. So how is it that you don't let your daily work take over you?
Oh my God. Yeah. Again, great question. For one, I think I have such a good support system. I have 3 best friends that literally, like, they just pour into me whenever I need them. They're one call away, one text away. Hey, can we just go get a coffee? Hey, because I do drink coffee at night, I will say. I know. I have a great family that I can go home to, and I can just be like, hey, like, I think with my sister one day, like, I had a very long day, and I was like, I need a hug. And she gave me like a good 5-10 minute hug, and it was just like, I could just, and that's very much needed. Yeah.
You can kind of melt. That's
moving my body, being very intentional with what I'm putting inside of my body, because I think that's important. I can't give to my clients if I'm not giving to myself.
Yeah, 100%.
Not like that, but especially you having all these clients, it's also not really healthy, you bottling up all those things, because I always say, whether, we're conscious of this or not, when somebody tells you, I don't want to say their problems, but like when somebody tells you their feelings, our body's like a receptor, right?
Yeah.
You're taking in all these things, whether you want to or not, but like energy, everything, energy, emotion, like we receive all those things unconsciously. And then sometimes we could be like, I don't know, maybe like later on in the day, you're like, why do I feel
Yeah.
a certain way? Why am I feeling these emotions?
Yeah.
And it's because, our bodies are like magnets, right? We're
Yeah.
receptors of the things that we hear, the things that we see.
Yeah.
And sometimes those things like play out later in our day because whether we're conscious of it or not, but it plays out later in our life because we received that energy, that feeling. And then now we're feeling these things of like, the hell, why am I?
Yeah.
Like, for instance, if you had a client who was really sad and,
Yeah.
you finish your session and then you go home, you're like, oh, I'm feeling
Yeah.
sad now.
I think what's helped me too is I do believe in the power of prayer. So I pray a lot. I pray for God to give me the sense of guidance with my clients, for it not to be me speaking, may Him speak through me.
Yeah.
I even have a journal where like I like put a prayer for each one of my clients.
That's beautiful.
Because again, like I think in therapy, for those of you that don't know, the word psychology, it's broken down into two pieces in Latin, and it's psyche-ology. The word ology means study of, and psyche is the soul.
Oh, wow.
So technically in therapy and psychology, we're studying the soul. It's a spiritual realm that I'm in every second of every day.
Yeah.
That's really good.
So knowing that, I know that I'm looking into people's souls, and I want to be able to invest in their souls. And I can't do that alone. So I know that through prayer and God guiding me through those moments, like that's the only way that I can be the successful therapist that I want to be.
I love how you said that, because I really wanted to deep dive into that, because I feel that psychology, when you study it, people think it's logical, right?
Yeah.
And they think it's just logic
It's
and
not.
logic and rationality, right?
Yeah.
So that's something I did want to get into, which is there something that obviously you're capturing these emotions, you're capturing how people are responding, but do you feel that what we're really here to heal is the physical, or is it more of the soul?
Oh my God, no, it's the soul.
Is the soul.
The soul, because I even, the one thing I love to tell people is you can't logic your way out of a feeling.
Yeah.
You actually have to feel it. The whole sitting with the feeling is, hey, teach that inner part of you, inner child of you, that you accept this feeling. That you don't have to push that feeling the way that maybe your parents maybe told you, ay, te voy a dar algo por qué llorar. Or, ay, you should be grateful. Like there's other people going through worse things.
Yeah.
Okay, but for you, this is the worst thing. And that's okay. Allow yourself to feel that. So through therapy, I think when people come in saying, I just feel like there's this one thing missing. It's the soul work that we have to do. It's figuring out you have your culture, you have your gender, you have your identity, but there's more to you through all that. What is that? What does your soul need in this moment?
How you said about we go around doing all these things, all this work, but at the end of the day, it's really what the soul wants, right?
Yeah.
And we go so long, I like to say like numb, right? We numb ourselves that we forget to cater to our soul, what our soul wants and needs. So I believe that's really important too, how you say, it's not just the 3D realm, right? But like how you said, that hitting that inner child, maybe you're growing up, your parents were like, oh, here's a gift, play with this toy, here's the tablet, here's a candy, stop crying type
Where
of thing,
your
right?
soul just needed connection from your parent.
100%.
Yeah, and then one thing that she's really helped me with too was kind of like that thing too, especially like in our healing journey too, where like my family was very much like that, right? Like, they hit you, get in trouble, whatever. They're like, oh, here, here's a soccer ball, here's some candy, or you're hungry. And like, they always want to like make right with food, right? Which I accept, like, that's their way, that's how they grew up, that's how they've maybe lived their life. So I always say, like, they're trying their best. It is what it is. Like, there's nothing I can do. I can't change who they are. That's just their way of showing, I guess,
Connection.
love or compassion or some sort of connection, right? So that's really important.
Do you have you experienced anything beyond science that you can explain? It's more of like the spirit, that you're kind of like a situation where you were like, this is a spiritual war. Like, this is more of the spirit talking, like, where you can't really explain it or understand it, or something that you're kind of like still think about to this day?
I think in an everyday experience, I think we're always changing. We're not the same person we were yesterday. So I think with a lot of people in therapy, especially like my internalizers, so people that internalize all their emotions, I have these clients that I swear, like, I love seeing them every week because they're battling with their own identity that they're holding on to. And I'm like, hey, dude, you have to let that go. Yeah. Like, your soul needs to grieve. Your soul needs you. Like that inner child of you needs you to hold them and tell them that everything's going to be okay. I've had a client even like, not to give her stuff out there, but she's even given me an image of what that inner child looks like. And I'm like, we need to go to that person every session and heal her.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
So you do believe that because I mean, when we started our spiritual healing, because we do, like I told you, we do Reiki and stuff. We always end up going back to the little kid, right? Do you believe that most of the healing needs to be done? The beginning healing is realizing what that little kid went through.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
One model that I like to use a lot in sessions is called internal family systems. And it talks about how we have like managers, we have firefighters, and then I always forget the third one, but it's like all of us are made out of parts, and all these parts are working with each other. So there's no good or bad parts, but most of these parts, they're trying to protect that inner child that maybe had to be the perfectionist, had to be that maybe they used substance to numb the pain. So going to like move those parts aside and be like, okay, what does this inner child need to hear right now? Can we be curious about letting them know, like, I'm not here to judge you. I'm not going to be mom and dad telling you that you should be doing this and you can't do that. But like, what do you need right now?
Yeah. I like that because our last episode we did that where we talked about where that's kind of like where the ego kicks in, right? The ego kicks in to protect the inner child because the inner child feels hurt. So now your ego kicks in and it's like, you don't need to feel that way. I got you. Let me take over. And that's where I like to say is that we battle ourselves oftentimes because we let the ego take over so much that now we're just moving forward in an egotistic way. Where it's like, oh, because this person hurt me, I'm no longer gonna let nobody hurt me. So now the ego kicks in. Like anybody that kind of, you feel that sort of, I guess, energy or emotion. And now it's like, okay, ego automatic. You know, it becomes automatic.
The ego becomes the shield, right? And it's knowing, okay, this shield, it needs like a door where you get to choose who's gonna go in and who's gonna go out. But if you keep this ego thing, you're not going to let anyone in. You're going to become a cactus. No one's going to want to be around you. And we need connection as humans. I mean, just think about it from when we're born. Like, what's the first thing they do with the baby? Skin to skin. That's how important connection is.
It's a common misconception of therapy or how people view it. That is taboo or people are like, no, because I feel like a lot of people are starting to do more therapy, which is great. Like, I love that. You know, the world is healing. What is a misconception, though?
That you have to be going through something bad to go to therapy. You don't.
That's a good one.
No, or only crazy people go to therapy. No. Or, like all you hear is sad things all day. No, like people come into therapy to go through an adjustment. Okay, Mimi, I'm graduating college now and I'm going into my adult life. Like, how do I go through that? Or, hey, Mimi, like I'm going into the dating world. What is that going to look like? Or, hey, Mimi, my parents, like, I don't know what my relationship is going to look like now because I'm getting a stronger sense of self. What does that look like? So I think if you are in a place where you want to understand yourself more without judgment and shame, go to therapy. It's a place where everything is, I was going to say consensual. What's the word? Forgetting my English, guys. It's confidential.
There we go.
It's confidential. It's a place where you could really explore your psyche, your mind, body, and soul. A lot of the work that I do, I thought I was going to be a very logical therapist, but with the great supervisor that I have, he's really taught me the power in connecting the brain to your nervous system. And your nervous system's main goal is to keep you safe. So we have our fight, our flight, our freeze, and our fawn. And teaching my clients how your nervous system, aka your shame or your people-pleasing tendencies or your aggressiveness or your avoidance, that's kept you stuck from
100%.
Maybe avoiding yourself, but also avoiding those around you, and helping them get out of their logical brain and get more connected to their body. Has been helpful.
One thing that I am learning is I feel like this year was a big breakthrough for me when it comes to money. You know, because you grow up in the Hispanic household and your parents are always like, no, like, like it's like a fear with money. And I never really liked that. I always felt like there's money to go around for everyone.
Yeah.
And money is energy, 100%. I think money is a language, a different type of love language that we have yet to discover, you know? As human beings, as people that I at least don't come from like a super wealthy family. And my dad used to be very, very like rich. And I think his fear of him losing all of that really got passed down to us, because obviously I could see him constantly just struggling with himself, where it was like, I could have done a better life, you know, because he lost all this money, he lost his company, he lost all of that. And I feel like that really bled onto us, where we feel like we have to constantly be working hard and like constantly keep going. And sometimes we don't even see the money flowing. And I like how you said about the nervous system. And I feel like the money is related to the nervous system, because we see money flowing and we freeze, and then the money goes away. And kind of what I've researched with like science when it comes to that is that your nervous system starts on like kind of moving everywhere, and then you kind of don't know what to do with the money. And I feel like something that has really worked for me is kind of like sit down with God, with source, and being like, thank you for the money you have reaped in my wallet. Yeah. Help me manage this, because I have never seen this type of money. I feel like my family has, but they have never learned how to manage it. And I feel like that way that they see money passes down to you.
Yeah, I think at times, especially in our culture, like our parents have seen money as an idol. So then that controls you instead of you controlling your money. Yeah. So what has helped me is I have a plan. I have a 50-30-20 plan, or 50-30, 10 and 10, because 10% of it I give to my church. And I think by me having that plan, I'm telling my money what it's going to do, not my money telling me. Yeah. I love having that. Even again, that's a boundary that I'm having with myself, and I'm telling my money, okay, I have this amount for fun money. This is the only thing I'm going to spend, and this is going to go to savings. So then I have that peace of mind, and I have that clarity of what is actually where my money is going.
Yeah. So you definitely feel, which I agree with you, is like you have to tell the money where it's going. Yeah. You can't just be like, I have money, and then like, okay, I'm just gonna spend whatever I want. Yeah. No. You have to direct it, right?
Exactly.
And how do people start doing that?
Like I said, I think having that plan, like I think I always say Gordon Ramsay, Dave Ramsey, he has this thing. I don't know if it was him. I could be wrong. I learned there's a 50-30-20 plan. So like whatever you get paid, 50% of it goes to your bills. 30% of it is your fund money, and then 20% of it goes to savings. But what I've been doing is 10% of it goes to savings, and then 10% of it I always give it back to church, because I believe that as long as I put God first, like he's going to give me at the end of the day what I need. And that's been helping me. And since I've been doing that since I was 17, when I was just getting paid $20-$40, I've seen God bless me because I'm putting him first. So that's what's been working for me.
I love that, because I always say giving grace is really what's gonna make things in your life flourish, right?
Yeah.
Even the smallest things. Someone gives you water, hey, I appreciate that. I'm very grateful for you giving me water. And grace is really what I always say helps us move forward, whether it's with anything, whether it's money, roof over your head, clothes on your body, food on the table. You give grace all the time, and miracles happen in your life.
Yeah.
At least that's how my mind works.
Yeah.
Like, you bless somebody, you get blessed as well, right?
Yes.
Like all those little things like that is really what helps us move forward.
Yeah.
Not only move forward, but it's like a pool of blessings, right?
Yeah. And going back to what we were saying even in the beginning, like you reap what you sow. Yeah. So like if you're sowing kindness, if you're sowing giving back to the poor, sowing, like I always like try to trust my gut when like if I hear someone is struggling, and I like in my gut, like Mimi, just give her that certain amount. Yeah. I'll give it, because I know I'm going to get it back multiplied. Yeah. And I'm never going to doubt myself for that, because then I'm trusting my money more than the source that's giving it to
100%.
me. So I'm like, I never want to make money my idol. I never want to make even my ego my idol, my knowledge my idol, because this stuff can go.
Yeah. Yeah.
So just reminding who gave me all of this has helped me stay grounded.
100%. I believe the same thing. I think that one thing that has helped that for me is really thanking source, thanking God for like multiplying everything, you know. And I feel that, and that's just something that, you know, he didn't grow up in a really religious home. I did, at least, and my dad did a great job in implementing God, Jesus, and like just really learning the Bible and really learning that life is about the Jesus Christ consciousness, and learning that that's what Jesus came here to do, is the consciousness that he was able to gain throughout his experiences is what he came here to teach us. Everything he can do is honestly everything we can do. And I don't mean to get like spiritual or like, you know, obviously get into that, but I feel like that is a very important topic that should be discussed, because I feel that people forget that there is something greater than us. And the reason we have what we have is because of the man up above, and whether he's light or a person, it's the one that's giving us this downloads, this knowledge, what to do next with it, and to not fear that nervous system, to get out of that comfort,
that fight or flight.
And constantly just being like, I'm grateful. And honestly, I feel that this season of my life is gratitude is so big. And I think that I always implemented it, but I never realized it until this year, where I believe we would not have this home without the man up above. You know, we wouldn't have this relationship without the man up above. And I feel like this also goes into thinking that, for example, like I'm not like huge religious now, but I'm more of like in the spiritual realm. And I truly believe that it's not about thinking that we have to follow certain rules, but really just following what the soul needs, you know, and not condemning it, like my dad always said, like not condemning the soul, not condemning anybody, and really just consciously making these adjustments and these how do I say it, just goals around a higher source, you know. And I feel like the best way, and I love that, is to calm your nervous system is honestly just thanking them above.
We all can agree to that, because at the end of the day, the world revolves of one creator, and we're all kind of like the offspring of helping others realize that there's more to life than, like I always like to say, the 3D realm, right? The 3D realm of physical things. Like I've never really been much of a person of physical items. Because I was like, at the end of the day, that's not gonna make my soul happy. At least for me, like physical things don't make me happy. What makes me happy is being out in nature, helping somebody in any way that I can, being able to give or provide for somebody in need, right? Like those little things is really what nurtures my soul, helps us move forward in life. But as far as like, especially like now, like everybody, the way a lot of people are living, where it's like, oh, I need to have these material things, I need to have the latest iPhone just came out, let me wait outside for 3 days just for the iPhone, or what, stuff like that. Like stuff that never made sense to me.
I think what's helped me too is, like, I always ask myself, like, what's something I can do to make a difference in this world today? Whether that is opening that door for that person, whether that is giving someone eye contact and giving them a smile and saying, I hope you have a great day. Or I even ask people, like, how are you really? Like, because when do we have these conversations? Because we're so attached to our phones that we're so connected nowadays that we're so disconnected.
100%.
And being intentional with that, of what are you doing to be a light in the darkness that we're in right now in this world. So having that mindset helps a lot.
Oh yeah, most definitely. I always like to, like how you say, like just asking somebody how did it really feel. I always like to say, hey man, are you happy? Like, are you happy in here though? You know? Everybody can be like, oh, how's your day going? Quick response is always, oh, good, yeah, it's good, or it's all right, or whatever, right? Like everybody has like a quick response. But then when people give me those types of responses, I just kind of go, but how's your day really going? You know?
Now
it's like, oh, fuck, like now I really gotta get detailed. Versus like a quick response, or even just saying like, are you truly happy? Like, is your soul happy?
Yeah. I feel like that's something that makes us also work, is that sometimes randomly he tells me like, how are you? And I'm like, I'm good, you know, like, and then he's like, no, like, how are you inside? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm actually, yeah, like I start crying and I'm like, why am I crying?
I love that.
Like, you know, he's like, why are you crying? And I was like,
I know.
I don't know. Like, I'm grateful. Like, you know, and like, I'm a person that cries all the time. So even if I'm feeling overwhelmed with gratitude, I'm like just busting tears where I'm just kind of like, I'm happy. Like, I'm really, really happy, but I'm crying, but it's not because I'm sad, but it's just like,
but it's so like, so nice. Like, I have, shout out to my friends, Elizabeth, Yahaira, and Janira. They are my people where like, I could be like, okay, we're going to hang out for 1 hour. It ends up being, we're 4 hours in a restaurant crying, just having those deep, cause it starts with a, how are you? But it's like, how are you really?
yeah.
And it's like every time I leave hanging out with them, I feel so energized. I feel so valued.
That's
I feel
awesome.
so appreciated. And I'm like, this is what I was brought to this world for, to have
love
these
that.
types of connections.
100%.
And I always truly believe we should have, which what I call is a human connection, right?
Yeah.
Because how you say it, we're always now everything's becoming electronically where we're always connected, that we're disconnected. And now we're disconnecting from a human connection. We're no longer creating a human connection. We're creating a fake connection, I like to say, or a Wi-Fi connection, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Superficial. Yeah. But I mean,
go ahead.
I mean, we don't mean to kick you out because I know you got things to do. If not, we could like go on forever. You know, we could talk forever. But definitely want to ask you just quick question, a couple of questions.
Yeah.
We have a couple of rapid fire questions for you.
What is something that you would tell your younger self that you have the knowledge today and the wisdom given to you that you wish you would have heard when you were younger?
Oh my God, that's so beautiful. I'm like, and I'm not going to cry. Right? I would tell little Mimi, you're not too much. Don't let anyone make you feel like you have to be small, and figure out what you want. Mom and dad, no matter what, they're gonna love and accept you.
Yeah.
But
100%.
figure out what you want.
I love that. Next question. As a therapist and Latina, what do you want the next generation to know about healing?
That it's never going to stop. It's an ongoing thing. And the way you know that you're healing is that icky feeling you feel of like not wanting to do something, do it.
Yeah.
Because that's when you're more comfortable with that feeling, you're getting a stronger sense of self.
Right.
And that's how you're going to know you're attracting the right people that are willing to have those icky feelings icky feelings and conversations with you.
And by icky feeling, you mean like getting out of your comfort zone, right?
Yes. Of like, this feels too vulnerable. Yeah, do it. Talk about it with obviously the people that you trust and that you feel like you want that deeper connection with. And also knowing that no matter what, you're not alone. You weren't put in this world to suffer alone. There's great things you can do alone, but amazing things you can do in community.
Yeah.
So knowing that, just reach out to people and know that there's people out there, whether it's if you want to see a therapist or just find a really good support system that you feel like can help you get to this version of yourself that you want to be.
Yeah, no, I love that. Especially how you say finding a good support system, because speaking from my journey, right? Growing up, I didn't really have like the best support system, right?
Yeah.
It was always about, oh, if you feel that way, go drink it away, go smoke it away. Like, until I finally like kind of, I guess how you say, you grow your own conscience, you start making decisions for yourself, and you're like why though? Like, why are you going to continue suffering and substituting with something that's only going to help you for a little bit, but after that substance that you take goes away, and now you feel even more worse, right? So I like how you say find a good support system, because not everybody that's around us is going to be a good support system. I always like to say, if you have 20 friends, out of those 20 friends, you probably have one or two good friends that truly know you, who really want the best for you, who's not going to be the other 97% who are just going to be like, oh, you shouldn't be feeling that way. Like, or like for men, especially, they always say, like, excuse my language, but they always say like, oh, you're being a bitch, whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, but you're not. Like you're going through life feeling these things. But we grow up where it's always like, oh, you shouldn't be feeling that, you being a girl or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, like they always want to downplay something that you feel, something that you're going through, and always want to substitute it. So
I always give the analogy to people of like the theater of your life. So I always say there's backstage people, there's front row people, and then there's balcony people. When you think about a theater in the backstage, it's where all the craziness happens, all the chaos happens. Like, who are the people in your life that know the good, the bad, and the ugly of you and want to set you up to like show up as your best self? And then there's your front row people. Your front row people are people that don't have access to your backstage, but they're people that can support you, can echarte porras, that you can go and have a coffee with, have a great conversation, but they don't know the good, the bad, and the ugly. Yeah. And then you have your balcony people where, again, they're not in your front row, they're not in your backstage, but they're people that are acquaintances that you know that they know of you, that they're probably looking at your stuff, but they don't know like the inner works of you. Yeah. So knowing that not everyone deserves to be in your backstage, I think is very intentional in knowing who is in your backstage so you can spend more time with them and know these are my people that I need to continuously be in connection with.
Yeah, most definitely. You especially also don't want to be opening yourself up to everybody, right? You can't be an open book with everybody. Or like how we like to say is being an open book and giving your energy to somebody, because at the end of the day,
that's a trauma response.
Yeah. because at the end of the day, it's like some people are like how we say energy vampires, right?
Yep.
They're probably not in the best state of mind in their life. They're not in the best situations in their life, and so what they do uninstinctively is, okay, let me be around people that who feel that way, who feel a certain way that I want to be, or they're like, let me hang around people who I want to be like. But sometimes that could be overwhelming for them.
Yeah.
Where they kind of like start, I don't know, I would say like throwing shade or something, right?
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, like they're not fulfilling themselves, trying to be somebody they're not. And that's where a lot of controversy happens.
What does healing mean to you?
Ooh, healing to me means being able to let go of versions of myself that maybe were protecting me as a kid, and allowing myself to figure out what it means for me to be authentic.
Love that. Yeah. And then, oh my gosh, I had the other one in my head, and then it just it went the other way.
I'll ask one while you think.
Yeah, please do.
What is one book that changed your life?
Oh my gosh, Jesus, one book.
Or maybe two. Besides the Bible, is there another book that's helped?
I think there's this one book by the author John Mark Comer. It's called The Ruthless Elimination of Hurry. And I love that book because it taught me to live a slow-paced life in a fast-paced world. And he breaks it down into pieces. Even like there's this one chapter talking about like we live in a world where we want to buy, and is it a want or is it a need? Yeah. Living a more minimalistic life, living a world where you're more intentional with what you're doing. He even like said in the book about how our attention span as humans is less than a goldfish. Yeah. Because we're always on the go. So learning to live slower so then I'm more present has been helpful for me.
I love that, because how you explain that, it reminds me of this book I read called Addicted to the Monkey Mind. And the book Addicted to the Monkey Mind is written by a bunch of therapists.
Oh, cool.
Who've, I guess, kind of put together scenarios from all of their sessions that help expand, not just help expand, but help understand the different parts of how the human brain works. So they get, in every chapter, it talks about like a different part of the brain and like a different reaction. It even has like a scenario, and they even put, I guess like a brief story of like a certain session. Yeah. And like what they got out of it. Yeah. So I really like that, because that's very important. We need to understand not just ourselves, but understand the different scenarios and things that also that go on that
Yeah.
we're not aware of.
I think another book too, when you said that came to mind, is Permission to Feel by Mark Brackett. And it's all about emotional intelligence.
Yeah.
And he's actually a doctor from Yale, or a psychologist. And he's going to schools all around the world teaching kids what emotional intelligence is through the ruler method that he created, which is like recognizing your emotions, understanding what they are, learning what they mean to you, explaining, what's the other one? Explaining like them to someone at the right time. And then I always forget the last one, but that method also has helped me teach that to my clients.
That's beautiful. What do you think is the purpose of life?
Oh my God. What is the purpose of life? I think to make a difference,
Okay.
to touch souls, to heal, to grieve, to break cycles.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, I think just figuring out what does it mean to you to make a difference.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. One more last question.
Okay.
It's a lie.
It's like those 9 goodbyes as a Hispanic, right?
Okay.
Ya nos vamos, pero
Yeah.
In one word, what do you believe people are truly searching for?
Meaning. They want to know the why to everything.
Yeah.
So I'm like, it's not about the why, it's about the what.
Yeah. Like that.
Mm-hmm.
Love that. Mimi, thank you for joining us today. We've didn't get all the way through, but we hope to have you again for another session.
Oh, yes.
And then probably have you again for a Spanish session. So we
Yes, I'd love that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wait. What's the next? What's your next step as Mimi?
What's my next step? Well, hopefully to have my own suite, my
Love
practice, because right now I'm renting a room from the amazing Red Rock Counseling.
Love that.
Just continue to get more clients, bring awareness to what therapy is to our Hispanic community here in Las Vegas, and to just keep growing as an individual.
And where can people find you?
They can find me on Instagram at breakwater.care or at my website breakwatercare.com. And that's about it right now.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for
Thank you.
coming into our space, into our home, not minding our crazy dogs.
I love your dogs. And I just became a cat person today. I don't know.
She's like, I think I'm conflicted. I think I want a cat. Yeah, it was crazy. We're going to post a picture right here so you guys can see how he was just comfortable. I was like, what the? Yeah, no, he is in love with her. So thank you so much. No, it was an honor having you. It was an honor sharing this time with you, coming into our space. And we hope to have you, once my husband said, back again, and this time be able to talk about these topics in Spanish.
Yes.
And trigger our community, and the community that continuously is growing. And I feel that our culture is changing the world. So thank you for changing the world, and we appreciate your presence, and we hope to see you again.
Yes.
But for you guys to check us out on Awaken the Minds podcast. We will have this episode up soon. We have other ones that we have to upload, but we'll hope that we have yours uploaded soon.
Yes.
And yeah, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, of course. Once again, thank you, Mimi, for being
Thank
here, taking
you.
the time out of your busy day, helping clients. But we really do appreciate you coming on.
Thank
to the pod
you.
and sharing your knowledge, your wisdom, and not only just sharing that, but sharing that to the world, where together we can help somebody who's in search of maybe answers, right?
Yeah.
Answers within themselves, or answers within this universe. So we really do deeply appreciate you being on the pod.
Thank you.
Once again, guys, thank you. Please go follow Mimi. Book a session with her.
Don't fall in love with her. Then she can't fall in love with you if she becomes your therapist. Remember that.
If you want to fall in love with her, find another therapist.
Please. Protocol, guys.
But we appreciate you. Go book a session with her. Follow her, as she had described before on her social medias. And was it Breakwater?
.care.
Breakwater.care. Let's all heal one at a time.
Yes.
We're very grateful for all the support. A big thank you to our guests for Mimi for sharing her wisdom, her vulnerability, her insight, and what truly means to create consciousness, healthy relationships, heal ourselves, and build human connections. If something in this episode resonated with you guys, share it with somebody that you care about, or just sit with it, journal on it, and let's move through it. Don't forget to hit that like, follow, subscribe, leave a comment, connect with us on social media for more heart-led content. Until next time, keep loving fully, healing gently, showing up for yourself with compassion and uplifting those around you. We send you all nothing but peace, love, prosperity, and abundance. You guys bless up. We'll see you guys back on the next one.
Thank you.
Adios.
Bye.
Bang, 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 bang.
So let's awaken the minds together.